Hey everybody, time for a new pro wrestling intro, and this is my brand new daytime 2022 Impact Wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, NWA Power, Major League Wrestling, Game Changer Wrestling, and every other modern day promotion that is still around today, or every new upstart promotion. This is the intro. This is the remade intro for all of those. I have nighttime intros for my Impact and AEW pay-per-view reviews, but sometimes when I spend a day watching a bunch of matches, when I wait till daytime, so the second, third, and fourth parts will match the first part. By the time it gets to nighttime, I'm not interested in reviewing, and sometimes I want to review it right away during the daytime. So I decided to do this new daytime quote unquote version. But if I'm ever on time, the right time, when it comes to an Impact or AEW paper, any modern wrestling pay-per-view, I will do it at that specific time where the intro is, which is at night. But this is a daytime intro for all of those, and again, we're doing all of those instead of just one intro for one promotion. This is all of modern day promotions. My next one will be retro wrestling promotions. So with that being said, you want to hear the rest of the music. With that being said, I'm going to be using the ever popular Sonic We Can, and I'm going to be using Sonic It Doesn't Matter, which I haven't used since 2018.
Hey everybody, it's time for my late, out-of-date review of Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling 1000 episode, the September 14th, 2023 edition of Impact Wrestling, which was the 1000th episode of Impact Wrestling, and I must say, what a phenomenal night. Could have been better, but still, what a phenomenal night. I'm also going to give a short salute and praise of Impact Wrestling, which in my opinion is currently the best wrestling program. Yeah. This is the short review as the Douglas Blair Roberts YouTube social media personality based character. This will mostly be talking about the results and moments of the show. None of the matches were really worth, they were good, but none of them were really worth talking about. It was mostly the moments that were worth talking about. So there will be no match reviews in either this or the part 2 RLSH Real Life Superhero version, the on-camera version, which the link to watch that one will be in the description box below. And for those of you on Facebook, I'll be sending you that video. So yeah, Impact Wrestling 1000th episode. This episode was awesome. So many awesome moments and flashbacks. The show started off with with Scott D'Amore hyping you up by talking about his history with Impact Wrestling, that him, Eric Young, and the rest of Team Canada kicked off the very first episode of Impact Wrestling almost 20 years ago. It's been like 19 years since the first edition of Impact Wrestling. Next year will be 20 years since Impact Wrestling has been on the air. Impact Wrestling has been on the air, yeah. Like I said, then he did introduce Gail Kim. Gail Kim came out celebrating her history with Knockout. Then she was interrupted by, surprisingly, the beautiful people. I wasn't surprised to see the beautiful people. What I was surprised to see was the beautiful people as heels and feuding with Gail Kim. Gail Kim here was supposed to be a historic, monumental episode. I was supposed to see the beautiful people. The beautiful people did their usual things. They mocked everyone, called everyone ugly, and they mocked Gail Kim for not showing that many highlights of the beautiful people. The beautiful people, then the Glam Diva and the Glam Diva, I keep forgetting her name, Jigsaw, whatever her name, but she and her people came out, and got into and argued with both of them. Then Jordan Grace came out. By the way, the woman, she argued with both of them, saying that nobody cares about their little generation, and now it's now about her generation. Jordan Grace came out and first appeared to agree with Jigsaw, whatever her name is, but then said, no, it's all about it's about my generation, but she respects the people of the past, but she's sick of the people of the present, like Jigsaw, who she sees as loudmouth bitches, something like that. Some word in bitches, I don't remember. Then the next one was Trinity. Then next Dana Purrazzo came out and said none of their generations matter because it's all about the age of the virtuoso, which they're still in. And then she mocked Gail Kim, saying, she mocked Gail Kim by saying, "Come back when you have." That was someone later. Then Trinity came out. Then Mickie James came out, and then Tasha Mack came out. So now we got a 10-woman tag team, all-star tag team match next week, which looks to be the best match next week, surprisingly. So yeah, we got a cool backstage segment where America's Most Wanted were reunited with Eric Young, Chris Harris, James Storm, and Eric Young. Who really always happy, always excited to see the Wildcat Chris Harris and anyone from the early days of Impact Wrestling who kind of got the shaft and kind of got passed over for former WWE wrestlers. Speaking of that, Dan, we also got a cameo from Shark Boy, who he had a funny segment with Santino, where Santino gave him the director of authority for the night. Next week, and then on the next segment was the Big Feast or Fire. The Big Feast or Fire. The next moment was the Big. Next was the Big Feast or Fire. Next was the Big Feast or Fire. Next was the Big Feast or Fire. Feast or Fire match between every wrestler who was not involved. Let me see, can I name them all? There was Moose, Sami Callihan, Brian Myers, Heath Slater, Steve Macklin, PCO, Joe Henry, Uemura, Chris Bay, I think Ace Austin. Who's up there? Ace Austin, John Skyler, and Crazy Steve, and I think Black Taurus, and many more. Well, anyway, Moose, Crazy Steve, Uemura, and Chris Bay won title shots for their hold on, let me check this right quick. Sorry about that television pause. Yeah, Moose won. Moose won with a but they won the briefcases, and Rhino returned and immediately went after Steve Macklin and gored the case out of him, and Moose was able to retrieve a case. Moose was able to retrieve a case. Lots of big time spots and moments, including a Tower of Doom powerbomb performed by Sami Callihan and Heath Slater. Then they started going at it until Crazy Steve got involved. Crazy Steve got cornered by Moose and Myers and stabbed Myers in the stomach with a fork. And Moose eventually let Crazy Steve not want to tangle with him, let him go by while tending to Myers. Then tried to go for the case himself, but Black Taurus and many more foiled his chances, and like I said, he was able to get it when Rhino returned and immediately went after Macklin, who managed to briefly get the case. Then Rhino gored the crap out of Macklin, causing Moose to get the case. Uemura managed to get a case, so did Chris Bay, and so did Chris Bay. So wondering who the results will be revealed next week. I was reading the comments because I want to see I was reading comments on ImpactWrestling.com. I think on one of the spoilers and news and rumor sites. One guy said that it looks like it's going to be Uemura who gets the pink slip. Let me tell you, I actually hate Feast or Fire. Yeah, we're guaranteed a world title, X Division, and tag team title shot, but one of them is going to get the pink slip, which means someone is either parting ways with Impact Wrestling, or they're going to be taken off TV for a while. Or sometimes just repackaging. I don't want either or. So that's what I kind of hate about Feast or Fire. And I guess Crazy Steve will get an X Division title shot. Chris Bay, I guess, will get an X Division. Chris Bay will get a tag team title shot, and Moose might get a heavyweight title shot, or Uemura might get the pink slip. I think Uemura will be fired because, well, one guy said he will be fired because he's the only one who's not really signed with Impact Wrestling. He's signed to New Japan, but because New Japan has a partnership with Impact, he appears on Impact Wrestling. Or Moose, and I heard Moose re-signed. Crazy Steve just got a new character transformation, so it wouldn't make sense to fire him. But then again, not a lot of people seem to care about his character transformation. And then you got Chris Bay. Well, he seems to be set because he has the thing with Ace Austin, the Bullet Club tag team with Ace Austin. So yeah, it's interesting to see what the cases are going to be next week. But yeah. For Moose, one of the only case winners I truly care about. The only case winner I truly care about. I hope it's not only I hope it's not a pink slip, but I hope he gets a heavyweight title shot.
I'm standing by with
Next,
champion Lio Rush. Lio, we are just moments away.
Heavyweight or even a tag team title shot with Myers. Next is Desi Hit Squad. The Desi Hit Squad returning. Rohit Raju and Gamasine. Gamasine has already been there, but Rohit Raju returning to Impact Wrestling. We'll have to see Rohit Raju. Kind of wish he'd stayed because he's in AEW now, but he's already lost in the shuffle. Wish he would have stayed in Impact. But it was they cut a heel promo saying how you gonna have Impact without the best tag team of all time. You know what? Despite the fact they're supposed to be obnoxious, delusional heels, I agree with them. How you gonna not have one of the coolest job teams of all time, one of the coolest job teams of all time in the Desi Hit Squad, and Team 3D, much to my surprise, Bully Ray, for this not only, I guess, performed as a babyface and teamed with Devon. Devon returned. I didn't think I was ever see Devon again. After last I heard about him, he had a severe back injury and surgery, followed by surgery, which doctor said he would never wrestle again. I guess he didn't take any bumps in this match, so it was okay. They had this was a pretty good tag team match. Nothing really worth talking about. And at the end, they put Rohit Raju through the table. Next, the main event of the night. Next big match was the mixed tag team match. Frankie Kazarian and Tracy, the babyfaces, versus Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards. And this was a pretty good fight. Tracy and Alicia Edwards' involvement kind of ruined it because I went to see a wrestling match and instead it was mostly a cat fight between the two until the second and third parts of the match. It was at its best when Kazarian and Eddie Edwards were in the ring, and the second and third part for the women, which Tracy hit the wave of the is it the wave of the future or the wave of the future onto the backwards driver onto Alicia Edwards for the 1, 2, 3. There was a promo with Tommy Dreamer, which you're listening to right now. Yeah, really happy Tommy Dreamer is not only the champion again, but he won, because if he had lost, he would have to retire. And like I said, Tommy Dreamer is one of my all-time favorite old wrestlers still wrestling now who can still keep up with and fit in with the younger generation. What's after Tommy Dreamer? What's after that? Oh yeah, then we got the wrestlers. Oh yeah, then we got the then we got another funny segment involving Santino Marella, Shark Boy Eric Young, Santino Marella and Shark Boy were confronted by Kenny King and his protege. Kenny King demanding a rematch, but instead Santino puts him in a match with Eric Young next week. Much to his dismay. And also, Frankie Kazarian after their match, showed a highlight of Tracy's tenure with Impact Wrestling. And I guess this October, along with Don West. She'll be inducted into the Impact Wrestling Hall of Fame for Bound for Glory. Next, we get the main event, which is about to happen right now. Chris Sabin takes on and defeats Lio Rush in what is match of the night. What a phenomenal X Division match. Wasn't the wrestling clinic I expected, but this was personal, as Sabin said before, and both men played their roles right. It was an awesome match and moment with Sabin finally hitting the cradle shot for the 1, 2, 3 and the baby faces of Jake Something, Sami Callihan, Ace Austin, Bay, Rich Swann, and many more. All surprisingly, except for Alex Shelley, came out. And speaking of Alex Shelley, earlier him and Josh Alexander had a confrontation. So looks like Alex Shelley will be probably turning heel soon, because he's coming off more and more as a heel whenever he's on screen with Josh Alexander. So yeah, awesome episode of Impact Wrestling, and like I said, Impact Wrestling has been the best show ever. AEW is still the biggest and best show. It's still the biggest and best show. It's the must see and the show people care about. However, with CM Punk's firing, Jack Perry's suspension, in my opinion, the dumb storylines, there's not one good storyline except for Maxwell Jacob Friedman as world champion. Maxwell Jacob Friedman as world champion, and oh yeah, Kenny Omega and the Elite, whatever they are doing. Other than that, there is not one good storyline in AEW, but that's for the AEW video. That's why I haven't really been seeing much AEW stuff. What's after AEW? Oh yeah. So yeah. This has been the short this has been the my review of Impact Wrestling 1000. Like I said, none of the matches were really worth viewing. They were awesome, they were really worth viewing. It was mostly the moments that stood out. And you know, oh yeah, if you want to see the larger Part 2 real life superhero version, which will have me, same costume, on camera, with a different outro song. You want to see that video, which I'll be uploading with this one right here, and probably sending the people on Facebook this one. The link will be in the description box below. Alright, I'm finished for now.